Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. It's finally here, the Alaskan Way bike path, the final connection along what could be the best bike lanes here in our city. And as always, I'm here to give you an in-depth tour of all the new things to look out for, so let's get right into it. So we're gonna start here near the Olympic Sculpture Park on Broad Street, and already we see some pretty cool changes as the bike lane I am riding on used to be a car lane, as now we get into the cycle track and into the Alaskan Way safety project, which is really the final piece in getting a fully connected downtown waterfront sort of bike infrastructure. So now that it's here, it's been generations of advocacy, and yeah, we are now reaping the rewards as we can really, from the whole layout of the road, there's been a reduction from 4 travel lanes down to 2, and you definitely notice it. There's going to be a ton of things to point out, including all of these new bike signals along this whole corridor, as this area has always been interesting, sort of a busy not busy area containing one of the main cruise terminals here, and that can get extremely crowded. And then here to our right is the Clipper Ferry, a fast passenger one that goes to Victoria, BC, which is a really cool trip to make. But yeah, we see all the sort of additional signage and paint on the ground. I think it's really worthwhile just given the high volume of traffic that's potentially here. And then we see all of this area is protected by concrete as you're riding in this cycle track. And then up ahead we see Pier 66, one of those cruise terminals, and this is where the design gets pretty interesting, as you're going to notice another diagonal bike crossing here at Wall Street. And the idea here is that on sailing days we'll be diverted to the other side, which will be both a benefit to us and all those passengers, as it's gonna get a little crazy. I also love the eye level bike detector sign right here to the right. It's very obvious, but in terms of the exact mechanism of how they're gonna enforce this, I'm not very sure. It's probably gonna be just a sign right there, or maybe a person stationed. But yeah, this was definitely one of the most contentious parts of this project, and it really took just huge work from local advocacy organizations to just sit down with the city, with the ports, and figure this out. So really glad for organizations like Cascade and Seattle Neighborhood Greenways, who are hosting a celebration ride together with SDOT tomorrow. So I'll have all the ride details below. And as we continue here, yeah, there was a slight difference in the bike lane treatment as we're off street slightly raised. And then we come back down here and they're implementing a system, I believe, with basically removable bollards. So you'll see those yellow poles on the left, they are more solid than the typical flex post, so like that a little bit more, but it's sort of the solution that's been come up with, as yeah, this is exactly that cruise terminal with a high volume of sort of pedestrians on those sailing days. But once we get past here, we are back to the protected bike lanes and the concrete loaves we've come to love. And then the best part comes right up as the last building here, the views just completely open up on the right. So it's really just one of the best ways to enjoy your Seattle summer. And I don't need to say more. If you've been here and had a good look at the Puget Sound from this angle, you'll know what I'm talking about. So definitely go ride your bike and check this all out. As well as, if you're enjoying this video, please roll over that like button and subscribe. We have actually a lot more cool projects coming out in Seattle in the very near future, as well as we're almost at a very cool milestone of 10,000 subscribers. So tell your friends, I'd love your support, as yeah, we are now approaching into Pier 62, and all this time riding along, you'll notice that on the other side there's some existing work with the Elliott Bay's connection. They're working on revamping what was like the old Elliott Bay Trail into a new nice greenway. So this is a crossing to enter into that space, but definitely heads up here, there's just a ton of people. But yeah, it was nice to see, because that area where there was a crossing used to just be this really random planter, so I'm glad we don't have to navigate around that, and we are just riding straight through up towards the Overlook Walk. And now the world's your oyster, as you'll soon connect with that brand new waterfront bike path that I've made a video before if you need to check out. and then continue all the way down towards West Seattle. But at this point, I want to double back and show you all the sort of diversion bike path that they've put from Wall Street. This is facing the other direction now. And I really don't want to forget, but thank you again so much to Chris for this footage. I am currently out with a broken collarbone, so kudos Chris that we're still able to get amazing coverage of all the bike happenings in our city. So now we see a bit of wayfinding on the ground here, and then this sort of refresh cycle track for a little while. This intersection is a little interesting because it's a bit of a mix. Up ahead, we sort of just get more of a sort of just big sidewalk, or it could be designated maybe as a multi-user trail, but there's still more wayfinding on the ground just in case you don't know that you need to keep going straight. So this makes it sort of a bike path with the railroad tracks are really close on our side to the right. But yeah, I think this covers most of the changes here today and all the exciting pieces. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Is this something that you would ride regularly? What do you think of the design? And what do you foresee with this sort of upcoming diversion here, just to avoid the cruise sailing and passenger loading on and off? Curious to hear all your thoughts. Really excited to try to get back out there. And yeah, after we're back here, we have another bike detected sign that was there on our right, and then some new signaling that was get us back on the bike lanes. But I think that's all I had for this video, so hope you liked it, and I'll see you all in the next one.